I always have my phone at the ready. Currently, Canon Mark III is my favorite one. You would need a telephoto lens which could zoom to that extent. It is all about the lens that does the magic.
Hello everyone, welcome to this podcast series JCL Podcast Bindass Bol, where we delve into the life of Jiomart people, and this is beyond their work, beyond the desk. What are their interests, what are their hobbies, what are they talented with? I am Satadal, your host for the podcast today, and for the first show of our JCL Podcast Bindass Bol, we have a very talented Apoorv from our Jiomart team. Apoorv, welcome to the show, and I'm really excited to start this podcast series with you.
Thank you so much, Satadal, for having me here.
Now let's start the ball rolling by learning something about you. Apoorv, where are you from, and what do you do at Jiomart? What's your role?
So, I belong from a small town in Madhya Pradesh. The town is called Narmadapuram. Here at Jiomart, I am part of the business planning and in-stock team, and I'm functioning as an in-stock manager for the staples and FMCG foods.
All right. So tell us something about your hobbies, your interests, your talents, maybe a cause that you deeply care for.
If we talk about my interest and hobby, I like to do a lot of things. I like cooking. I like swimming a lot. And reading books. But if you ask me, something that I deeply care about is photography. Since I was probably 5 or 6 years of age, I've been exposed to the camera. Even my father liked clicking pictures a lot. So since that time, I have always had the access to the camera and I've always been enjoying photography.
So please share a little more about how you have started photography as a core interest area.
So, as I said, my father, being fond of photography, we had in those older times when we had those point and shoot cameras, the ones that we used to put the roll in and then we used to click and get it developed later on. So since that time, my dad had been clicking photos of us. And my parent used to like getting clicked. But actual photography journey of mine started after my graduation. When I first came to Mumbai with my first job, with my first salary, I bought my first DSLR. Buying DSLR was the starting point when I decided that I want to pursue it professionally also. And it was a hobby as well.
Super. And it looks like a journey, like from those Kodak reels, and from one reel you will capture 36 photos, and from there to the DSLR, and now of course with the smartphones available. So how do you see photography as a hobby has evolved in you over the years?
So it has evolved in a lot of good ways. Initially, in those initial times, as you said, that Kodak films and all, we never had the chance to correct our mistakes. It was only after we got the photos developed, we used to get to see that what actually we had clicked. But with this technology getting developed, DSLRs coming in, and then now all our cameras and mobile phones are so efficient that they're able to click such good photos. So, I have been through this entire thing where I just used to pick my DSLR and used to roam in Mumbai city, multiple lanes alone, early in the morning, late in the night, trying to capture random pictures of whatsoever. So with time, it has grown into me. I have developed as a better photographer, I feel, with every photo that I clicked, every photo that I analyzed. And the major important change that had come, that once you get deep into that that activity as a hobby, you try to enjoy more, and you are better able to connect a story to that picture.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, and I think that is something, once a person starts connecting stories to the picture, is when you are going in the right direction.
Wonderful. And you said enjoying, and I think enjoy comes from the thing that we love doing, not something that we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what you love doing. So tell us something. How often do you do photography?
For a photography through phone now has got no routine. I always have my phone at the ready, be it looking out from the window of our 23rd floor, enjoying the cloud moving around, and or probably somewhere in the corridor of RCP where I see some shadows, some intriguing light being thrown at something that forces me to take out the camera and take out the mobile phone and click a picture. So to answer your question, it is both ways. With my phone, I'm always at the ready to click pictures wherever I see an opportunity.
Yeah.
But there are several planned instances as well, where with all my gears and everything, I go to a place and I try to click photographs.
So when you say gears, does it also mean that you also have a lot of equipments and then?
So the gears include multiple cameras, multiple lenses, because once we go deeper into the photography, we understand that for every sort of photo, we have a different specialized lens available, which we can use to get better pictures. So depending on the type of photography, that type of lens is something that is to be carried. Then there are tripods, then there are lighting equipments. If we are not doing a natural light photography and there is something where an artificial light is needed, then the camera flashlights, additional lights, and the boom boxes. So there are soft boxes and boom boxes which we use to soften the light.
My God, I mean, I'm getting to know a lot of new stuff today. Very interesting. I'm really fascinated. So it's a different world altogether. And what we thought is just taking selfies, the photography.
Yeah. So to a certain extent, again, that is also a thing that has got into a trend a lot. But photography is a lot more than that. Photography is mostly about understanding the light.
Oh.
Yes. So how you can use the light to get abstract photos, or probably how you can use your object and the light to get a better photo of that object. So photography is all about that.
And which I'm sure you have multiple cameras. The favorite one?
So Mark III, currently Canon Mark III is my favorite one. But I believe camera is a smaller equipment. So the camera body is not that necessary an equipment, but the lens becomes a crucial equipment when you are trying to shoot something. Because when you want to shoot something which is far off, you would need a telephoto lens which could zoom to that extent and give you a clear image of the object that you're trying to capture and blurs the background. If you're wanting to capture a portrait of a person, then you would want probably a 50 mm or a 40 mm lens.
Okay.
So lens become a very crucial part, and camera is still okay because while we speak about cameras and stuff in our mobile phones, we look at what megapixel a camera has. What is the megapixel of that camera? But in our actual DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, it is just 24 or 25 megapixel camera that is present. It is all about the lens that does the magic.
I think as I'm deep diving with you, I'm getting to know how much you do not know about photography, honestly. All right. So it's been many years for you into photography. So if you have some special moments to share with us.
Okay. So every photo that I've clicked has a story, as I said, associated with it. But then I've been lucky enough to be part of certain photo shoots and photo walks as a community as a photographers community that we try and do. So in those photo walks and photo shoots, there are a lot of mutual knowledge that we see getting transferred, because traveling with photographers, going to places with other photographers, seeing their perspective and comparing it with ours helps us learn a lot more. So, and also I've been very lucky enough to have participated in 2 to 3 movie launch shoots and certain fashion shoots as well. So yeah, it has been
Very interesting. And just a curiosity, like, have you ever thought of making it a full-time profession?
yes, like every other part-time photographer I had, but right after, so probably a year after I bought my DSLR, I was parallelly preparing for my MBA. I was preparing for CAT and other competitive exams, and I was pursuing photography also parallelly. So that time there were certain instances where I wanted to give up everything and I just wanted to pursue photography full time.
Oh, so at this point, this is reminding me of Three Idiots.
Yeah, so like more or less like that. But again, being the only child of my parents and for a photographer, journey is not that easy. I wanted to support my family financially and my education also financially. Hence, I thought that probably sometime in the future, once I am well sustained, I'll try and pursue that photography full time. But since then, it has been a part time thing for me.
I'm sure एक दिन वो जरूर आएगा. And you are already doing it, and it's not only doing only this or doing only that. So my philosophy is that if we can do this and that.
Before I did my MBA, I was also working with Deccan Chronicles, the newspaper, as a photographer with them.
Oh.
So that actually gave me a lot of exposure to these movie events and launch events for fashion shows, etc. And a lot of other photographers community as well. So that was a part. And when you see your photo getting published in a newspaper, it gives a sense of achievement. So that was, and it was again helping me financially as well. Being a part-time, not that significant, but any money is a good money.
Yeah.
So that time it was a great thing. Then I started doing my own shoots.
So I'm becoming a little gritty now. If you want to give me a few simple tips that novice like me would remember in next time I'm clicking.
So just go to the pro mode of your phone and try adjusting the aperture and the ISO and the focal speed, focal length. So adjusting these 4 parameters and playing around with it eventually helps us to understand.
Before we close, you have any message?
Once you start getting in deep into photography, you start become more creative, and creativity is associated with the artism of the scope of things, and artists are always on the edge of their emotions. So having gotten into the photography has helped me better understand my emotions and other emotions, and in turn it has helped me to connect better with the people. So I've seen this development in myself over time, how I used to connect with people earlier and how that has changed, how my perspective towards things and how the power of visualization has transformed me. The visualization, as I got better into the visualization, I'm able to deliver better results in my work as well.
Wow.
So somewhere or the other, having a hobby, having a thing that helps you not, I would not say release your frustration, but helps you give a breakout time and keeps you busy, refreshes you. Something should be adopted by everyone. And photography is one of a very easy, because we all have access to the phone, and all of us are nowadays creating a lot of videos and taking photos thanks to Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. So somewhere or the other, it can be redirected towards an artistic side.
Beautiful. I think what is more important is being aware of self and navigating our own emotions and getting in touch with our feelings and any hobbies for that matter. And photography, as you said, is one of the easiest form of hobby, which is very much accessible to most of us. And not only help us to navigate our feelings or emotions, but also it helps building relationship. So with self as well as with others. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Apoorv, for sharing this. So hear it, folks. This has been a fascinating journey into the world of Apoorv and his photography. And thank you so much, Apoorv, for sharing this with us today. And here comes the end of our first JCL podcast Bindass Bol. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.